recognition of filleted and tapered features. This functionality is available in previous versions of CAMWorks. However, due to the complexity of geometrical cases, it would not find these features in some parts. So, the development team has done a lot of work in this area, and you will now see that if you define a pocket feature interactively with tapers and fillets that include an island or a number of islands, which are also tapered and filleted, the feature is recognized. This is extremely useful when you're defining a feature interactively and ultimately decreases the amount of time spent on defining a feature manually. So let's see this with the help of an example file. In CAMWorks 2009 and previous versions, whenever we create this kind of pocket feature interactively, the result would be the message, the 2.5 axis feature is not supported, as you can see here. Let's see this in CAMWorks 2010. The features are created interactively, and you will see that the features with all the islands are recognized. There are variations in the nature of all islands. Some islands are tapered, some have fillets on the bottom, as well as top fillets. Some islands have a combination of tapered and fillets. The final results are all the features with islands are recognized. Omit mill holder message. In previous versions of CAMWorks, whenever we change the tool in the tool crib, a warning message appears asking whether you want to replace the current holder. Hence, the message would pop up every time you change the tool. We have received many enhancement requests from our users asking for an option to have control over this message. In CAMWorks 2010, you now will see this message has a control, and we get a checkbox where if the user clicks it and clicks on yes, then whenever you change the tool, then the tool holder is replaced automatically, which will act as a default parameter. And if you click on no, then whenever you change the tool holder, the tool will not get replaced, which acts as a default parameter. The master control for this option is in the General tab of CAMWorks options, as you can see here. Turning and mill turn. Turn toolpaths with varying allowances. This new enhancement will allow you to input different allowances for different segments of a turn feature. This is required when the user wants to achieve specific tolerances, provide proper material for subsequent operations such as plating, grinding, and so on, which may add or remove material, accommodate shrinkage of plastic injected molded parts when the turn part is used as an injection mold. This option is available in face rough, face finish, turn rough, turn finish, rough groove, finish groove, bore rough, and bore finish operations. Here's an example using varying allowances. So in this example, I'm going to take turn rough 3, I'm going to check variable allowances, and then settings. On segment number 5, I'm going to give it an allowance of 100 thousandths on X and 100 thousandths on Z. Generate the toolpaths, and as you can see here, we have 100 thousandths on X and 100 thousandths on Z. Define turn stock from STL file. In previous releases of CAMWorks, we have had the ability to define stock from an STL file in the milling module. In CAMWorks 2010, we have extended this capability to the turning module and mill turn module. As you can see from the image of Stock Manager in turn or mill turn mode, there is a new option which will allow you to select a STL file as stock. This STL file will be used for toolpath computation and for simulation. So let's see this with the help of an example file. So I'll edit the definition of the Stock Manager. Here you can see the option for STL file. I'll select the path and the STL file. Click OK. The stock outline is the image of the STL file. I'll run automatic feature recognition. Then I'll generate an operation plan, followed by generating toolpath. And as you can see here, the toolpath computation was based on the STL file. Single pass for groove cycles. In previous releases of CAMWorks, whenever we wanted to cut a groove with an insert that has the same width of the groove to cut, CAMWorks would not generate the toolpath, because mathematically this is not possible. However, in the real world, this is a common machining practice to use. So in CAMWorks 2010, our development team has modified the algorithm to allow for such cases. Now, in CAMWorks 2010, whenever this case arises where the insert width is the same as the groove width, CAMWorks will generate the operations. Here's an example inside of CAMWorks. As you can see here, the groove width is 5 millimeters. And in the rough groove operation, I have the same width of a tool that is 5 millimeters. After generating toolpath, I get a single pass in the rough groove operation. Turning below centerline. In turning, this new option will allow you to machine the internal and external diameter of the part with the same tool and with the same orientation, provided the turning center supports this kind of configuration. If you are using this option for the front turret, the resulting toolpath will be as if it is generated with a tool on the opposite side, that is, rear turret. This option has been added to all of the turning operations. To explain in more detail, let's take a look at a video. This is a section view of the turn part. The bore rough 3 and bore finish 3 operation uses the same tool, T20. So I will use the same tool with the same orientation in turn rough 3 operation and use this new functionality, mirror about centerline, I will then generate the toolpath and use the step through toolpath so you can see the orientation of the tool. Turn feature extents. In previous releases of CAMWorks, the display color of the turn feature extents was the same as the rapid toolpath. This caused confusion and you were not able to see the difference between the two. Now, in CAMWorks 2010, we have added a new option in the Display tab whereby you are able to change the color of the feature extents, which results in easy identification of the feature extents. Turn 3D Stock Display. In CAMWorks 2009 and previous versions, the turn stock displays only in wireframe mode. Now, in CAMWorks 2010, we have the ability to display the stock as transparent. You can see the difference in the two screenshots here. Turn Whip Display. On a similar context, you now have the ability to change the display of work in process. The display options are available in the NC Manager when you right-click on it. If you do not want to display the work in process, then it can be set to none. Similarly, you can set the work in process display in wireframe and shaded mode. You can see from the image the display of work in process in wireframe and in shaded mode. Simulation and step-through toolpath. Toolbars revised for consistency. Again, this is an enhancement that has been requested by many of our users. In previous versions, the buttons of step-through toolpath, toolpath simulation, and edit toolpath were inconsistent. The single step button, run buttons were also different in step-through toolpath, toolpath simulation, and edit toolpath. So, in CAMWorks 2010, we have made all the buttons and icons look the same. This will help in maintaining consistency.